Hey, it's Dr. Evans here from Sugarland Medical Spa. Today, my message is for you men. I'm going to be talking today about 10 tips to improve your overall health and wellness that could actually enhance your sex life. All right, so stay tuned to find out more. This is for my men. All right, this is for my men that have been listening, and I just want to let you know that this comes from a place of love, first of all, okay? Yes, I do have a background of 20 years in gynecology, but I specialize in sexual wellness for men as well as women. And I want to let you know something too. I am a mother of 2 boys. I have been married for over 22 plus years, and I have had so many thousands of conversations with women. And a lot of times when we're having these conversations, it's about you men. So I just want to let you know that, first of all, if you're a woman listening, I'm trying to do you a favor to actually help you and help your relationship. If you are a man that's listening, I want to let you know that I care about your overall health and wellness. This comes not only from a medical standpoint, but because we actually do provide services for men in the sexual wellness department. I realized a long time ago that when I start fixing women, their guys would be coming in and saying, hey, what do you got for me? Because right now I cannot keep up. So I just want to let you know that, hey, I'm here with you. We are going along this life's journey together. I care about your overall health and wellness just as much as I do your partners. So this video is for you today to tune in, okay? So let's get started. So number one, that has to do with your overall improving your overall sex and wellness, has to do with communicating with your partner. Again, as I told you, men, I've had conversations with women. I'm telling you what the women say. They are telling me that they want for you to communicate with them about it. And I'm going to tell you, talking about sex is vulnerable. We know that. We know that. We understand that because it's actually vulnerable on both ends. But if you don't speak up and say what's bothering you, we'll never know. We'll never know how to address the problem, how to correct the problem, and then how exactly to move forward and actually enhance to a higher new level of understanding when it comes to your sexuality. So it may be something like, hey, honey, I want to experience more when it comes to the bedroom, or I want to try something different tonight, or I'm having trouble with sensation, or I may be depressed. Those are all the things that can overall affect your performance in the bedroom. So I just need you to know that, hey, it's okay to talk about it. Your lady wants to know these questions. She wants answers to these because she can't figure out if the problem is with her or if the problem is something else, okay? Number 2, I need you to actually go see your doctor. There's a lot of men that, believe it or not, they won't go see their primary care doctor, but they'll come see me for hormone balancing. And I will discover that these men, unfortunately, sometimes I have helped diagnose prostate cancer. I have helped diagnose heart disease. I have helped diagnose other conditions, like lipid disorders. Sometimes there could be problems with like the kidneys or the livers, things like that. Those are all things that I will look for, but I want to let you know that your healthcare provider is your advocate. They are here for you. They are here to make sure that your lives are better. We wake up and we work hard every single day to take very good care of you. And a lot of times when my men will have problems in the bedroom, there can be some underlying condition. I'll give you a perfect example. We've diagnosed guys with diabetes before. We've seen their sugar levels be through the roof, yet and still they're complaining about sensation. Sensation in a diabetic can affect their fingers, their toes, and also their penises. So men, if you're having trouble feeling your partner in the bedroom, realize it may not be them, it may be you. So these are things that your healthcare provider can talk with you about, can actually diagnose, and actually help improve your overall health and well-being. So another thing that I need you to do is expand on your definition of sex. And this is coming right from what ladies have told me. Sometimes sex is more than just the act of having something inserted into something else. It can have to do with intimacy, kissing, close touching, dating, all those things like that. There's so many different levels of intimacy that you can actually explore with your partner, right? Your partner is a whole different human being. Just like you're a whole different human being. Your person will have different needs, different wants. She may like it a certain way. There may be some way that she can orgasm faster than you can, but it's important just to actually expand your horizon and know that, yes, your sexual wellness is your health. That's part of your healthcare. And it's as important to you as it is to her. So again, going back to number 1, making sure you're communicating. And then definitely 2, making sure you expand your horizon on what exactly is that definition of sex between you and your other special person, okay? So that leads me into the 4th thing. The 4th thing is actually being aware of your partner's needs. needs. So what does that mean, men? So I just want to let you know, and again, this is coming from a place of love. I've had conversations with ladies, through the years, and sometimes your partner is going through things just like you can go through things with work stresses, with, interpersonal relationships. There could be multiple things. It could be tax time and, you're stressing over that. So realize that your partner's needs and their desires and their wants, again, it has to do with them being a whole different person than you, can sometimes be different from you actually interacting with them. And just realizing like, hey, sometimes when you look at your partner and you know that they're on a 10 and it's not a get 10, it's like a 10 stress level, you may realize that, hey, you may have to leave them alone for a few hours and let them come back to you when they're ready to actually engage and be more comfortable. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong or you're being rejected. It just means, hey, that person needs space. And again, men and ladies, it goes both ways, okay? So the other thing that has to do with that is, number 5 is realizing that sometimes the whole thing with sexuality, it may not have anything to do with you, right? This leads me into number 5. So what I mean by that is your partner as a whole different human being and going through different things in life, right? Say for instance, you're in a situation where your lady just had a baby, or say for instance, you're in a situation where you have the 50-year-old or 51-year-old woman who's going through menopause. She's experiencing hot flashes. She can't sleep at night. And when she wakes up in the morning, she's all icky, meaning that she's already sweated through the night. She's uncomfortable and she's still tired. And you're like, hey, baby, what about me? Can I get some love? No, that's not the right time to ask for that. What's important to know is that your partner is going through things. And this can happen again as life changes, as you grow older together. She may actually be experiencing things like vaginal dryness where sex is becoming more uncomfortable. This is where that communication point comes in. So you asking her, like, does it hurt? Is there something we can do about this? Those are all things that opens the door to doing things like hormone balancing and things like O shots and things like P shots. These are all those things that where I can step in and say, hey, let's address the problem. Let's make sure that, after having a baby, it doesn't feel like you are throwing a ping pong ball down a hallway, for example. I've heard that before. So literally know that, again, it may not be you as a source of the problem in what you're experiencing, okay? Other things that I want you to know too is that sometimes you have to actually change your routine and keeping things spicy, okay? That means that, hey, sometimes you may have to think outside the box. Maybe having sex in a different place than what you're used to, or maybe renting a hotel room for the night, or having an escape away from the rest of the family. Again, I've had conversations with ladies where sometimes there's multiple people in the household and it's hard for her to focus because she can hear other people and she thinks that other people can hear what's going on. So of course that can really mess up with intimacy. So what you may want to do is, yes, change your routine, go someplace else, pick a different place. It may be like some swanky hotel, but all those things are really, really important in helping maintain that intimacy with other things. Another thing you can do too, and please don't feel shy, don't feel embarrassed about this. Do know that yes, as women age, it takes longer and longer to have an orgasm. Again, these are when things like proper hormone balancing and things like the O shot that can help increase a lady's sensitivity. This is where these things come into place, okay? You may have to introduce toys because honestly, if you are working and you're working for a long time, after 45 minutes to an hour, and she still hasn't had an orgasm, yes, you may have to have different things like vibrators or different toys in order to actually enhance your sex life. So I just want to let you know, like, don't be afraid of that. It can also be easy things such as changing up your underwear, adding a new scent to your regimen, or, just simply, just including something within that sexual act that's something a little bit different. Those are all the things that can actually help excite women and actually get them more in the mood, okay? So another thing I want to tell you too is that because it does take longer and longer sometimes for ladies to actually have an orgasm, as well as increase moisture as they age, you may have to provide more warm-up time. What does that mean? That means more foreplay, right? Yes, women need foreplay in order to kind of get in the mood and get aroused a lot of times, okay? So yes, those are just some of the tips that I'm gonna give you here to actually help you, okay? I'm gonna get to number 7 here, which is actually changing your mindset about things. That has to do with you being in tune with your mood. And sometimes, just like I mentioned earlier, where you have to give your partner space, you have to also be respectful of yourself. And do know that yes, sometimes you need time away. Sometimes you need to, go play pool or, go watch sports or, go hang out with the guys. Just realizing that, when you get back with that person, your loved one, you're going to be just so turned on and so relaxed where it's very, very easy to actually enjoy the mood, okay? So just like we women, we need our space and our mindfulness, guess what, men? You need it too, to be better in the relationship and certainly better for your family, okay? So the other thing I'm going to tell you too is number 8 is actually dating your partner, okay? So what do I mean by that? So the couples that are in the relationships the longest, because I have some people who, they're in their 40s, they may still be single because they haven't found that right person yet, but literally the people that have been together for years and years and years, one of the most important things that they do is they actually still date. That means even if you have a busy schedule, even if, tons of things are going on, you set aside a time in your schedule where, and even if you have to schedule it like 2 weeks or even like a month in advance, to where this is going to be your date night time, right? This is going to be the time where you and your partner either go take a walk, right? Because ladies like that. Ladies like time alone and things like that. Or, you just say, we're going to go out. We're going to have, a beverage. We're going to have your favorite meal, or even everybody's out the house and you actually cook for her. Those are things that are so important to ladies. And again, I've talked to ladies and this is what they're telling me. So I'm actually delivering it back to you men, okay? So dating your partner and making time for your partner is so important, right? And do know that, yes, you may have to plan ahead, but it will just mean so much in actually not only solidifying, but actually just helping out with that interaction and the communication with your partner. Again, super duper, super duper important, okay? The other thing, number 9, that I'm gonna tell you, as far as your tips go to overall wellness and increasing your sexuality, is actually staying healthy. This goes back to visiting your primary care doctor, like I mentioned earlier, okay? So things like limiting your smoking, limiting your drinking. Do know that the penis is an organ, okay? So literally, it has blood flow, it has nerves to it. So things like diabetes can affect the nerves, decreasing your sensitivity. Things like smoking can affect the blood flow and your overall cardiovascular health. So sometimes when I meet men and they come in for their pee shot, they're like, hey, I heard about this, it's like the best thing in the world, blah, blah, blah. But do realize that your pee shot's gonna work better if the blood flow is already functioning well and you're already under the care of a provider. So that's just a little bit of tidbit to know about, how that works, but then know that staying healthy is so much more important, okay? Also too, do know that as you lose weight, right, you can actually increase the length of the penis. Do know that. Also know that certainly as you lose weight, hopefully your joints won't hurt as much. Your performance will increase. Your stamina will increase. These are all things that leads to longer time in the bedroom, as well as just feeling overall better about it, okay? I mean, imagine if you were this guy. This is one of my pictures from my M-Scope meal. But imagine if you were that guy, right? Come into the bedroom. Oh yeah, you're ready to rock and roll, right? Because again, that is what helps your mindset too, right? So when you are healthier on the inside, it shows on the outside, and then therefore you can be even better for your partner, okay? So number 10 is something that I think is really, really important. So this goes back to the dating thing, but on a side note, the big topic that I want to describe to you is actually staying engaged. And what do I mean by staying engaged? Now, as we all age, and I've heard this before from women too, some of my ladies, they say, you know what? My husband, he goes to work and then he comes home, he gets on the couch, he is engaged with his phone, and then he just falls out and goes to sleep, right? I mean, how sexy does that sound? Not very. So I just want to let you know that, you know what? Staying engaged with life means when you come home, put the phone down, right? Look at your honey, help out with some of the chores. I will tell you that some of the ladies say that that's the most sexiest. And I will tell you from my experience, that is the most sexiest thing. Like, of course, me coming home from work and, there's stuff that's done around the house already. I mean, there's stuff that we don't have to think about. The only thing we're thinking about is, hey, I love you and I appreciate you. I am showing you gratitude with all the things that you do, right? That's just one of the few things that you can do in terms of engaging, not only with your honey, but also too engaging with your family, right? I think too often nowadays, younger people, they're all, on their phones and they're all engaged with videos and things like that. So I just want to let you know that one of the most beautiful things you can do is actually putting down your electronics and actually focusing on that person and giving that person your time, your energy and focus, right? Another thing that kind of goes along with this whole thing of being engaged, meaning that when you come home, especially when you're not stressed with work and things like that, when you put that phone down, look around you, look at all the blessings that are around you, whether it's kids that are healthy and they're doing good, whether it is dogs or pets that love you and adore you, whether it's your honey that could be bringing you your favorite beverage or, cooking or things like that. Maybe it's the house that you live in, or there's so many things around you, the community that you interact with, okay? Those are all things that are blessings around you. I am someone who believes in love. I grew up with Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Prince, all those love songs and things like that. And the things that you believe in, your mindset, those are things that set you apart. So when you look around you and you look at all your blessings and show gratitude toward that, that's when you start to appreciate it more. That's when you start to engage more. When you look at your overall person in the mirror, you take time out for your healthcare. That's huge. That's actually aging better, right? Because again, I meet guys all the time in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, and you know what? They're living better than some of these 30-year-olds. Seriously, right? They are running circles around them. I've had conversations with men where they're literally, like dunking on them on the basketball court, for example. So these are things that have to do with your overall health and improvement. Consider doing some sort of regenerative therapy, wellness therapies. It's just things that are outside the box in order to keep you healthy and living your best life. So I just want to let you know we are here for you at Sugarland Medical Spa. Again, this is Dr. Kimberly Evans. Please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, too, feel free to leave comments down below. I love answering questions for comments. And then more importantly, that gives me ideas for future videos in order to help you, again, look and feel your best. Just know that, hey, we love you. We definitely appreciate our men. We want you to do well and succeed in life and just be, basically the leaders that y'all are. So thank you very much for tuning in. Again, it's Dr. Evans here from Sugarland Medical Spa.